How do you build a fast user interface for AI workflows? And the reason for this is, would you like to have some sort of human in the loop application structure that's backed by agent workflows so that people can use the tools easily but have all the power of the automation? Now, this is a situation that I need to solve for someone in a week or two's time. And what I'm doing today is working through their prompt pack and reverse engineering the prompts they got and coming up with a plan of action, basically a requirements document for another team of developers to go and build the user interface. So I guess the focus of this podcast is not that we will have the final user interface, but that we'll have the requirements document for it. So let's start from here firstly. So this is the actual live stream that we're doing today. Break down AI prompt chains into human in the loop workflows to build fast UI scaffolds for developer handoff. And the reason for that is that I'm working with a couple of guys from this company over here. Let's just bring it up. AI Gentive. And they have a workflow engine. It's called AI Gentive. They've got an SDK, so you can programmatically create your AI bots and all that sort of stuff. So this is all pretty cool. And they also have a fair bit of capability in front-end development using React and ShadCN and stuff like that. So I was saying to them that I want to work with someone on a particular workflow, and we'll just bring it up here. Let's just check how the live stream's going first. We'll just do a refresh. It has started, which is great. And we go, here are two simple workflows. So the workflow number one is how to generate inspirational and SEO rich blog posts. So after that is a prompt pack, and it's a very simple prompt pack. It's only got two areas to it, and we can look through it. And I haven't read through it all fully. I do know that there's a video related to this which would help give more context, but I've never seen the video. I just know that this is the information available. And in about a week and a half, I'm going to be presenting to this person various ways of improving their own prompt packs, prompt engineering. So it's important that I understand this particular workflow. And also, what are different ways we could put a user interface over it? Because at the moment it's done in Canva. There's little copy buttons, which I don't even think work, but the text is there and you would copy it into ChatGPT. So it wouldn't be the most efficient setup at the moment, even if it does work. So what I'd like to do is probably load all three images into ChatGPT to reverse engineer what's here first. And we'll do it for both workflows. The other one is generate a monthly content calendar for any platform. And as I work through that, I also want to figure out what the variables are, what are the inputs. So when you look at this, you see these little ... stuff. So I think I need some variable names that will extract. And then I want to get some ideas from ChatGPT under how it would do a human interface, a requirements, a user experience document, a micro app. I'm losing my words at 2 in the afternoon. And from that, develop maybe a mock coded version using either the image generation in ChatGPT or the HTML generation in ChatGPT. And then after that, I want to develop a little bit of a requirements document. And I'll hand this off to the guys at AI Gentive so that they can take what we're thinking of and convert it into a visualization. So hopefully at the end of this, you'll see a prompt chain. We reverse engineer it into maybe a richer data structure. From that, we'll think through how it could look as an application. And after that, we'll look at how we can build the requirements so we can see the final product. And hopefully in a future video, I'd be able to actually show you the final product. So let's get started. And what we'll do is we'll jump over to GPT and we'll start a new chat window. And I've just started a convo. It's under clients. It's called NR prompt chain for requirements. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in an information. I'm going to say describe. Let's see what it says. And hopefully that one word. Cool. In future, when I say describe, I really just want you to extract the text. Great. So we got how to generate inspiration SEO rich blog posts. So what we'll do is we'll bring in the next one, describe. Copy that, press enter, and while that's happening, I'll bring in the third one, and we'll say describe, and I'll also, why is there an unknown error? Okay. Let's just refresh on this, and we'll also pop up this view so that if we want to, I'll just press F12 so that we magically move that over to the left a little bit. Let's do that. There we go. So it says at the top, we've got on number 1, generate inspiration, generate inspiration, generate inspiration, prime your bot. So that's a heading. And it says, if you are starting a new chat, complete the bot primer. So this to me is a variable that we've never seen. It's not been included. It assumes that you know how to do the prompt primer. Now that I assume was in the video. So that's why I don't know about it. But then we got research at DAS, check-in. So now we're waiting for the human. This is a conversational bot. Then research, do something. And we can see along the way that there's variables, but we don't actually have names for them. So that's a bit of a problem. So I'm going to bring in the second image, and I'm going to say describe one more time. And before I go and do the next 3 images that I've got available, so the one we're bringing in right now is here. Before I move these ones in, I'd like to actually get better data understanding from what we've got here, but I do need to check that the data was read correctly before we move on. So Google research, great. Okay, cool. Can you describe to me what you think this document is about? I just want to make sure that ChatGPT has an understanding of it. So yes, you are correct. This is called a prompt pack or a prompt chain, and it's been developed by a marketing expert who may or may not fully understand the best way to introduce concepts like variables. And when I look at the document, I see that there are the instructions for the bot or steps along the way. I can also see wherever it says check-in that there's a period in time in which the human would either accept the values or have a bit of a conversational refinement, I guess. There's also areas where information is selected, but it's not clear from the placeholders what the names of those placeholders would be. So what I think might be nice is if you give me a structure that can show me the prompts and give me a tiny little bit of information around the rule. Is it the human? Is it the bot? And what the human in the loop experience might be. Is it fill in a field, or is it just go into a bit of conversation mode before moving on? Now, unfortunately, I don't know how bad the I wasn't watching the speech to text, but let's just see what we get. I don't know. I haven't specified a structure, so I'm not sure what I'm going to get. Prime your bot prompt. If you're starting a new chat, complete the primer. Role human, HITL mode, manual input, copy and paste a primer. Placeholders, none here, but the primer can include custom variables like brand tone. Okay, that sounds good to me. Step 2, topic research. It's the bot. Human selects from a list or refines in conversation. Placeholders could use a target audience for more explicit. Let's just have a look at it over on the left as well. And we're on this one. That might research. So at DAS, yes. So let's just make that statement. So we're going to collect some variables along the way. Yes, I would like a target audience variable, and I would also like a primer variable, but I'm going to call it fact sheet. Love that. It said fat shit. Maybe that's my Australian accent. Who knows? Anyway, we'll say fact sheet is what I want to call that. This one will be target audience. And the fact sheet is usually for me a separate workflow where you're just solidifying a lot of information. In fact, when I look at this particular prompt pat, I wouldn't be doing this research phase inside of this particular this prompt workflow. That would have been what gave me a fact sheet. But the other thing for me to be aware of is that because I haven't seen the video, I'm not exactly sure what they mean by primer. So a little bit of guessing going on here. So we go into number 3, and it's like, wait for your bot to respond, check that they have understood the need and adjust if needed. Okay. Conversational refinement, soft validation, placeholders, none. So I've got a little bit of a question that says, from a variable point of view, when we are doing the refinement in step number 3, what are we refining? Have we got an output variable for this? Let's now move on to step number 4, highlight research. So what's it saying? Taking number above, can you do some research? So it's saying topic, number, and subject. Can you do some research and write about the subject? So when I look at this, and this was something I was looking at earlier, I was confused about the topic. Was it meant to be from the list? Was it like, if number 1 was cats and dogs and number 2 was mice and men, is the topic mice and men if you pick 2? Like, I don't know, because there's no clarity in a ... This is where variable names become important. But we'll leave that for how it is, and then we'll move on to the check-in, same as above. Okay, cool. And then let's go over to this last one. Please run SEO optimize. Now, wait for the bot to respond. Write a post. Okay, so here we are. We're writing a post. This is great. Placeholders, topic number, possibly a style. Call to action would be useful. Source preferences. So again, if I was doing my own prompt pat to solve this problem, these would very likely be what I'd use. Something similar. I'd have different ones to be sure. And this is where, when I look at this, I wonder, is there enough clarity in the individual inputs? If I read this, please write an SEO article on topic. Yep, that's good right there. Answer the following questions. People also insert PAA. Let's just clarify that. Does insert PAA mean people also asked? Please answer the following questions in your... This is almost an FAQ. We'll say other FAQ. Something like that. And then we've got list your products or reference site. Is that in here? is links meant to be separated as list of products and or sites? And when we got another one, we got the CTA, which is an offer. CTA should be both message and link, I think, as variables. Please write a 600 to 1. Okay. I feel like when you wrote the instructions, for the please write an SEO optimized article, you didn't give me the full prompt that was in the screenshot. Let me know if you need that again. If we don't get that, this will be a bit of a problem when I send it over to the developer. And then what? Generate a suitable high resolution catching image to go with the blog article. That'd be fine. This again, in my own workflows, I have longer image generation concepts, but specifically thinking that we're using ChatGPT, the latest version, it might not matter. Image generation, we got that, and next steps, generate social. Okay, so where did that say? Generate so. Okay, cool. Let's just see what we get here. Target audience, a fact sheet, which is the primer. Selected topic, choose as content progresses. This is perfect. Topic number. Research highlights, blog post, other FAQs, people also link products, list of product to be linked, supporting sites, CTA message, CTA link. Now I could be a little bit wrong on that. Maybe one set of links would have been enough, but that's okay. We can treat links as two variables, and yes, should be split. Yes. What are we refining in step? Output variable is topic list. The refined variable is selected topic or topic number. Prompt creation, and yeah, that's important too. Now I can now turn this into a prompt chain template with variables shown. That might be perfect. That might be exactly what I'm looking for. Provide a markdown or table version for clarity, or convert it into a format. No, we don't want that yet. We can do that. I'd like to see what this is, and the thing is, if I don't like what it is, I will restart that particular part of the conversation. In other words, I'll do what's called a fork and start again. So got that in place. Press F12. Okay, SEO prompt chain, setup, human, the fact sheet. Okay, topic generation, reviews, selects, optional index saved as topic number. Yes, that feels better. Feels like what my client would want, I believe. Using this, please do that. There's an output. Okay. Checks for relevance, option to refine or continue. Okay. Human role, action. Now, because I really want to move forward with this, and I'm not necessarily wanting, because I'm in a live stream, so I want to get through it quickly, I might just do a couple of things here and say, if at a later date I needed to turn this into a requirements document, one of the things that I don't have enough clarity on in the steps that you've given me is what a human in the loop component would look like. And I can see a couple. It'll either be a field or a drop down field might be there. There may also be a list, but there can also be a conversation. And the idea of the conversation is ultimately it would go into one of the fields. What I think I'd like to see from you is that at each one of these steps, can you tell me the suggested human in the loop component? And tell me what you think the button name would say as well if this was a wizard. So now we're getting a little bit more into how the application could look. We got our chain plus the human in the loop blueprint. Define input variables. We got a couple. Start with these or begin topic discovery. See, this is beautiful. This is exactly how you might see a wizard putting this together. Bot suggests 5 topics. They're listed, right? It could be any number. Display a radio or cards. Can allow refine. Triggers chat, but then what? Or write my own manual entry. Okay. Use this topic. So now we've selected it. Research highlights. Okay. And that's based off a prompt. Cool. For clarity, oh, look at that. We've got a list of our variables. We've got the button text. We've got the types. I wonder if I now want to thinking. Do I want a document now? If I do, then I want to go into canvas mode. The problem I find with canvas mode, though it's been improving lately, is that if I want to go into a different variation, like say a HTML form, that can sometimes be a bit of a pain in the bum. But let's go into canvas mode and say, great, I want you to keep this in this descriptive document structure. We're not yet doing a requirements document, but everything you've included has been spot on. I think the one thing that's missing is I don't have a detailed list of prompts with each step. So I'd like you to finish off this document including the prompts. I'd also like you to give me some nice marketing friendly title for the application or tool. That'll just make sure that the description does get a nice thing. Smart Content Wizard, the AI powered SEO blog generator. Cool. We got a bit of a description now coming through, so let's read it. Is an interactive AI guided tool designed to help marketers and creators generate SEO rich content, complete with embedded research, branded links, etc. So step 1, set up, define key variables, fact sheet, target audience. Cool. Then we got our prompts, we got our variables. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. Now, let's now move into a requirements document. But before we do that, we need to give it some extra information. We got names, Prompt Craft Pro, Inspire Writer. That looks nice. But we'll go with the Smart Content Wizard. Cool. So close that out and we say, this is great. We're going, let's leave this document alone. We're moving on to new research, and we will refer to this document later. Are you ready? At the moment, I just want to give you some additional context. There is an application out there called we'll just paste it in and we'll say I don't seem to have much marketing material on this home page, which would have been more helpful, but we'll leave that. This tool has an SDK which will allow me to build out the AI agents. We're not too concerned about that right now. I think the other thing is that those AI workflows, when they're created, can be communicated with using a front-end application, and you might create that application using React and ShadCN components. Think of it as having AI as a backend with some sort of REST API communicating to it from the front end. So for me, backend as a service in this case is the workflows, and we just need to send it human in the loop sort of instructions. So that's another thing we should probably state here as we look at this. So whenever we're doing a particular task, like filling in the fact sheet, there is both the data that goes through to the workflow engine. There's maybe there's the user interface for that particular page, and there may need to be a little bit of stateful information as to whether it's just send the information and keep doing other parts of the workflow, or whether it's a human in the loop operation. I think for this application, most of them are human in the loop operations at every point. And what I want you now to consider is, what would we need to put into a requirements document to execute on this goal? And that doesn't mean go and write the requirements document just yet. Just tell me what you think we need to consider. I'm saying that because I want to review what sort of requirements document it's actually going to produce for me, because whatever I do needs to go through to the guys at AI Gentive so they can do a little application, a micro app with human refinement, brief, intro to the stack. That's exactly right. Yep. Okay. The problem I've got with this front end when we do the front end React stack, we don't want to mention what it'll be to the developers because they'll do what they want. So we don't need to be opinionated here, just that we have need of a front end done in React. Just check what else is going on here. User experience. I don't want to go deep into this because I want them to come up with some ideas. I'm not sure how they're going to build this application. This is useful. I'm glad I asked that question because sometimes you want to just have things happen automatically. Okay. State and data flow is not something I want to talk about too much in the requirements document. I'll let the developers figure that out. Validation and edge cases is also something that I won't be specifying. It'll just use the default validation rules of the component that we actually select. Permissions and roles are out of scope because this is a minimum viable product. Analytics and feedback is out of scope, and branding and theming should be default. So at this point, we're pretty much to the point where we could write a requirements document. It's a wizard step is how we're seeing things happen. We got components that most of them would just be default components in ShadCN. What I'm considering in the future is using a domain-specific language to be able to design both the AI workflow and the AI front end really quickly. Now, I already have my own agents as code domain-specific language that allows me to produce backends, but if we could do it, make it do front end and back end at the same time, then it'd be a really powerful combination. Each step should indicate, yeah, that's cool, variable mapping. What we haven't made clear here is that there should be kind of a global variables for the particular workflow. Agent binding. Cool. Not for us, not for us, not for... Would you like to start? Yes, I would. Yes. Let's just see what it does, I guess. I was kind of thinking for a moment, do I want to do the visual stuff as well? But if we just write the requirements document, it's going to have similarities. Hopefully it's going to have all the prompts. That would be useful. If it doesn't, we'll ask it to do so, or we won't, because we have got that other document. It might be smarter to keep them separate. In fact, I think it will be. Cool. This is good. We've got the binding of inputs and outputs. We've got out of scope. This is great. So now I want to draw a couple of things. So I'm not sure the best way to do it. Why is it stopped? I might have to press refresh, or do I just press X? Here we go. Can you give me a description of the first two pages in the wizard? And can you make it a little bit distinct from the point of view that I want the first page to feel like a starter page. You're on the start of a journey, whereas the second page will be just extra content going through. Now this is frozen for some reason. I don't know how to unlock it. Let's just do a refresh and see what it comes up with. By doing this, I get the ability to do my own mocks. UI components, additional page. So what's page one? Welcome, setup, start your journey. Okay, cool. This is good. So what I'd like to do now is, I was going to say do the HTML. It's probably the smartest. can you do a HTML page for the first page? And we'll do it in Canvas. This might actually even run. There's our code. It's using Tailwind CSS. We've got a heading, start your smart journey. Maybe we want a bigger view. I don't know. Let's jump this over here for a second. See what we've got. It's finished. Can we preview it? Your smart journey. Tell us a bit about your brand. Cool. It's about cats and dogs. And it's aimed at pet lovers. Cool. Now, I don't know, it won't move on. That's okay. Great. So we come back to here. Can you implement the second page of the wizard? So the first page is meant to be a home page. The second page is meant to just be another step along the way. So it's redoing. Well, actually, I can't quite tell what should we write about. It feels like something's missing. Yeah, we can't go. This is cool. This is also giving us an idea. Here are some tailored blog ideas for your brand. And that would have been based off the previous area. Regenerate. That's a good human in the loop sort of thing. Like, you don't like it, just regenerate it. Might be nicer if it was regenerate with an actual text prompt, but that would be fine as well. So can I now see the combined page that has page 1 and 2 with the ability to click between them? So now we've got a bit of a JavaScript going on to handle the buttons. Start your smart journey. That's now looking like what the first one is, and there's the second section being created. And I think this will just work. So we'll just press preview. And we're here. Start your journey. Start your journey. Smurf. And it didn't work. We've seen what it looks like, which is okay. But we can say, when I clicked on the button to go to the next slide, it didn't actually work. Just see what it changes for us. So what it's doing now is just doing taking the code that was there, making minor updates along the way. Now, I'm not going to get deep into the SDK because I would like to map them because I don't know enough about it, but let's just see what it is. We'll go that and we'll go that and we'll press start. It's still not working. So we're not going to fix it because it's not our job. Our job is to write the requirements document, and in so doing, we have actually visually seen how it could work. I don't know whether if I go to here, I can see the previous one. So there's one and we close it. And then if we move, now I can't press X. You gotta love when ChatGPT just stops working in various ways. Press preview. There's the other one. So both of them I can visualize and I can send through to the developers. This is good. What more would I want to do? The only other thing I think might be useful is can you draw a beautiful image of page 1 of the wizard? Now this will take a little while, and I did forget to do the 16:9 aspect ratio because it probably should have been widescreen. But this is more me just testing the idea of image generation in ChatGPT using the new image generation engine that they've got. And this can also potentially bring in a bit of a creative flair. Now, I don't think this is the smartest way to generate these sorts of mocks. We can obviously go and do it in HTML pretty quickly. And also, well, actually, I'll go into that, but the image thing might give us something new. So the other thing that we probably should have done differently as well with our requirements document is take it over more to a programming tool like Cursor or something like that to generate things. Now, that said, when I give this to the developers, I'm going to give them the requirements document here, which is all about the prompts. So they're going to have this information available to them. Then as we move down, I'm going to give them the document that's more about the requirements of the application, the minimum viable product requirements document, which is there. I will click on it just so you can see it one more time. All the information is here. And then lastly, I'll give them 2 screenshots, and I'll take it from the first one that we looked at and the second one that we looked at. I can't show them it working because it didn't work. And if we look at a screen, which is taking a little bit of time, the other thing I would be doing is, if you're wondering for yourself how you would get this information over to them, I'll just do a quick Loom, and with Loom I can just record, talk, press pause, and talk some more once I've found another image, and Bob's your uncle. Now it's nearly done. If I'd have created myself a prompt at the beginning of this, I could have shown you it in ChatGPT, in Leonardo AI, because it also does some interesting stuff. Very creative, but not as focused. So this is one of the things I've noticed about the new ChatGPT images, is that it knows how to actually write text properly. Start your content journey. Tell us a bit more about what you do and who you're writing for. We'll take it from there. Now, the fact that this is taking 1 to 2 or 3 minutes to do means that it's not a practical tool right now. But if you want to test different visualization designs and you got the time to wait, this will do. Cool. So I think we can finish this live stream here. I wonder what I'll do is I might even potentially put this up on the thumbnail so you can see it at the end. But you can see what's going on. I'm Appy Dave. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next live stream.